Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Sagittarius, May 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. May 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. May 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. 2 bonus cards. Fantastic. The left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. And of course, these 2 bonus cards. So we're starting off with the 3 of Swords. Now, that's not the best way to start, but it's releasing pain. So that's very good. Then we have the Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The 5 of Pentacles, poverty, mentality. The Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We have the 4 of Cups. The King of Wands, fire sign energy, which of course is you, Sagittarius, coming through as a king. There's something that you're defending yourself against, or there's something that's being righted after a heartbreaking wrong. So that's really nice. We have the 4 of Wands, and we have the 6 of Cups. And the 4 of Wands is, of course, happiness, joy, celebration, success. It can be marriage or a commitment in your future coming forward. You have the 9 of Pentacles, the Emperor, which is Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. The 10 of Wands and the Hanged Man. You don't see everything the same way as everybody else. You don't see things the same way as everybody else, period, end of discussion. You have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd. The King of Pentacles, which is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You have the Sacred Masculine coming through profoundly strongly, because you have the King of Wands, the Emperor, and the King of Pentacles. The Emperor is also amplified because of the King of Wands. Emperor is Aries, and Aries is represented by the Wands in the minor arcana, by the Emperor in the major. All right, let's look at, we're going for the energy you need to avoid first. What is the energy that Sagittarius needs to avoid? May 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. angels, and spirit guides. Ooh, show me clearly. Okay, we're going to go with that. So we have the Aquarius energy, and the King of Cups just came flying right out. Aquarius energy is, of course, the star card representing Aquarius in the major arcana. And then we have the King of Cups, which is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. There's a sense here of dreams and wishes being twisted. So it can be something that you've always longed for starting to come forward, but really during this time, it's like read the fine print, because emotions do run high, and we're going to get really caught up in the, oh my goodness, yes. This is a time where it's like, step back. If it sounds too good to be true, it will very well be close to not being true. Well, it might not be true at all. So really be mindful of things. Emotional manipulation is definitely going to be something that's used to really take what you want and be like the carrot dangled in front of your face. So really stepping back, saying, all right, where do I want to be? How do I want to move forward? Let me not jump into something instantaneously. This can also be another way of defending your heart right here, of making sure that you're able to move towards that happiness. And it can be also that for some of us, we lost what was astoundingly dear to us as the years went on. And now we're looking at something, and those hurts and those pains are kind of coming back and making us question, can I move to the place that I want to be? Can I be the person that I want to be? Is this heartbreak always going to be defining my life forever and ever? So do be mindful. Do very much be mindful of that. Now let's look at our chakra energy for this time. Aquarius. Sagittarius, May 1st to the 15th, 2021. Sagittarius, May 1st to the 15th, 2021. Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. So it's rebirth. During this time, we are deeply connected to the Earth Star Chakra, which is located 6 inches below our feet. This is the time where we need to get into nature, vitamin N, coming forward, that connection with nature, that connection with evolution, that connection with, I'm not the same person I was, and I don't have to be penalized because of that. And so there is a real way that we're opening up to the power that we want within our lives, the beauty that we need to move forward in. And again, we don't see things the same way as everybody else. And that's because of this transformation. That's because we're moving towards a place that is right for us. Now, this doesn't mean that we run away, there we go, from our responsibilities. Responsibilities, I believe, are intrinsically important to who we are and how we move forward and how we live our lives. But there's a real sense here of, I need to evolve, I need to transform, I am being reborn, and as a fire sign energy especially, I need to feel that rebirth as a part of me, as a viable, passionate, beautiful part of me. It's bringing the erotic back into life. And when this is said, we think of sex. We think of sex when we think of the erotic, but the erotic is so much more. It's the beautiful. It's the, it's the magical. It's the wonderment within our existence, within ourselves. And it's like, I've had enough. I've had enough of the heartbreak, of the pain, of the disappointment, of being reminded of this constantly and forever. I have had enough of being defined by what I couldn't do instead of what I can do, of my failures instead of my successes. And that's what the Three of Swords is showing us, especially during this time. It's like, I am not simply my failures, my mishaps, my angers. I am so much more. I am so much more than the pain that has been a part of my life, because there is no life without pain. Pain is a part of our existence. If you could show me a person who hasn't had pain in their lives, they were either, first of all, I'd call them a liar, or they hadn't lived at all. They kept themselves so profoundly safe. And then when the pain comes, when life starts kicking in and pain comes, they're not going to be prepared. The Three of Swords is saying it's time to own our hurt. Instead of saying, I don't want to live in a life of hurt, it's like when we live in a life of hurt and when we have our hurt, it's looking at it dead in the eye and saying, I'm taking that fear, I'm taking that pain, I'm taking that disappointment, and I am making it into one of my greatest tools for my existence, my life, my soul, and myself. And it moves us to the Knight of Swords. It's like, no more am I being held back. No longer am I being silenced. I'm charging forward. I'm slaying dragons. I'm seeing things more openly and honestly for me. Okay, I'm cutting through the poison of this world. I'm ascending. And there's also a sense of connecting the hidden part of ourselves, the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine coming together. This is what I fight for. I fight for the power, for the beauty, for the understanding of who I am and where I want to be, of how I want to move forward. Now, this is also a warning, very much so, that we can be moving too fast. We can have gotten it in our heads that like this needs to be done, I need to move now, and that's it, I'm going for it. That's not always a bad thing, but it's not always a good thing either. Sometimes it can be a little bit too rash. So it's stepping back, it's looking and saying, is this right? Do I want this? Can I do this? Is this the way I need to move forward, or isn't it? Because sometimes we could just get caught up in the dream and the wish of it all. We can get caught up in, oh my gosh, this is going to lead me. And we don't think it through because some things are just too good to be true. And some people, they have the best of intentions, but they get us wrapped up in a dream that doesn't involve us, in a story that isn't ours. And so we need to step back. And one of the things that we are battling here during this time is the poverty mentality. And the Five of Pentacles has its way of just creeping up all the time. It's like, oh my goodness, especially if we've grown up with money problems. If you grew up with money problems, then this is a place where we can come back to very easily. Excuse me. We heard caregivers yelling about, we don't have enough money. We were made to feel stressed about something that on television is just taken for granted. Every sitcom, every TV show, they have money problems, but things get worked out so easily. And life isn't like that. And yes, they say children are resilient, but why is it that all our pain, all our coping mechanisms that are broken, they all come from childhood? And we spend the rest of our lives unlearning these patterns, making sure that we tell ourselves we're safe and secure and that things will be okay. When it comes to money, money is not the seed of happiness, but it sure as heck helps to not be worried about having to pay the bills, to not be worried about everything. And so here, there's that chaos coming back. Now, it can be that we're having financial difficulty because, of the world that we're living in and everything that's going on. That can definitely be the case. What we need to do is step back because we're going to have a tendency during this time to focus on the pain, to focus on the hardship and the disappointment and the anger and the upset. And when we're living it, it's all we are. So there's a need to step back and remind ourselves that we're more than this. Remind ourselves that we are conquering, that we are moving forward, that we're not trapped and this isn't a life sentence. So there is power here that starts to open to us. And there's a sense of seeking out help, asking for help, opening up the door, seeing who it is that we are, where it is that we want to be. And it brings us to the Page of Cups. It brings us to the student of our possibilities. Because here, we realize we're not alone. And even if the person hobbling along next to us is our spirit guide, even if we feel like, wow, I don't even have a spirit guide who's like on point right now, it's okay. It's okay because we are connecting. And it's building that connection so that that energy that we give to divinity, to this spiritual connection to life and to existence, starts to embolden, starts to move us forward. We start to listen to that voice that sounds like Jiminy Cricket in our heads. And it's like, I can do this. I can move towards where I desire. I can move towards what I need. I can open up to myself. And then we start finding information from the most unlikely of places. The Page of Cups is talking to a fish, which very much always makes me think of the ancient Celtic story of Finn McCool and how he has that salmon that, of wisdom that he gets all this knowledge from. So here it's like you would think it was a joke. You would think like, oh my goodness, how could this even be true? But it doesn't have to be true. It can be symbolic to the fight and the power and the way forward that we move and the same struggle as we would have in the ocean, we have on land. And it's getting this insight from a being that lives a completely different life than we could ever have imagined. And there's a student here. It's being a student of our hearts. This can also be a child who is in a water sign energy, or just a very loving, kind, sweet child that you listen to and you're like, wow, you're wise beyond your years. There's a gravitas to them, and it's taking in that knowledge. But at this time, it's taking in a knowledge because it is a gift that's coming in. We have this one cup in our hands, and it's so interesting because our hearts are crowned with getting this one cup as a gift. We have the 3 cups before us, but we're kind of meditating on them, not really paying attention. But here, when this gift comes in, the thing with the 4 of Cups, for me, always is that it doesn't ever feel like a gift. It feels like, oh my gosh, this is an extra burden. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I can't handle just one more thing being thrown on my plate. But when the Four of Cups comes, there's a sense of, look, deeply look at what is desired, what is wanted, how you're moving forward, where it is that you want to be. Look at, not even look, but you might be looking back at things that you thought, oh my gosh, I don't even understand, like, how does this even make sense? But without that, we'd never get to where we're supposed to be, how the door is supposed to open. And so even this time, we might say, I don't even understand why I have to go through this, why I'm being tortured in this way. But when we look back, we might be like, wow, that's what opened the door. That was the catalyst that said, I can't stay in this situation, in this life anymore. And I need to break free. And it brings us then to us becoming kings. It does. It brings us then to, taking that leap of faith on ourselves. And I love how we go from 3 to 4 here. And there's this sense of heartbreak and then a gift that comes in that we just don't expect. And we have the repeat of the number 4 within our hearts, which is emotionally, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to start looking at ourselves, what we desire, what we want. And it sounds egocentric. It sounds like we're only thinking about the self, but it's very much of, I need to get myself in shape. Like, I need to get myself in order before I could be everything to everyone, before I can open up those doors. And at times, you might sit there and say, well, Dane, I can't take time off. I have kids, I have work. It's nonstop all the time. And I don't even have time to sleep. And that's fair. That is absolutely beyond the realms of fair. And now it's time to find ways, just little tiny ways, that we can just breathe and calm ourselves down and see that the fight is not going to be forever. Because hope was the last thing left in Pandora's box. When it got opened up and the world got hit with pain and hurt and suffering and all those horrible things. And so we can be kings. We can be. We can transform and change and claim power. And there's this beautiful thing with the king is that he has the Ouroboros. He has this serpent eating his own tail. And the fact is that that's what we are as human beings. We devour ourselves. We are in the constant state of death, rebirth, and regeneration, which we're really focusing on the rebirth during this time. The fact that we are looking at things differently, the fact that we're saying, I'm not being stuck, I'm not staying in this, I am becoming more, it has us embracing this fire, this passion, this determination of the King of Wands. It's like, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I'm heading for, nobody is going to stop me. My knowledge is, I'm constantly consuming the knowledge that has made me, that has defined me, that has empowered me, that has, taught me, tested me, and now I'm seeing myself becoming more than what I expected. And it leads us to the Four of Wands. It leads us to this place of celebration, of greater understanding, of commitment to ourselves, commitment to our dreams, commitment to our hopes. There's a sense here of more, and we are embracing that more. We are embracing who we are and what we desire. There's a sense of new job opportunities opening up. It can be a moving of house. There's this beauty that guides us, and we're embracing this beauty. We're gaining it as an understanding. There's also a need to say, I celebrate me. I celebrate my achievements instead of focusing only on our failures, because in our inner selves, that's going to be something that we fight. The darkness will come up. The cloud will come forward. It will make us think, I can't do this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overworked, underpaid, underappreciated. Everything just keeps on piling up more and more and more. I don't even have time for me. And there's a sense here of learning how to celebrate the self again, learning how to laugh and to embrace joy and to have beauty come in. And there's looking here at the hurts and the pains of childhood. Again, the fact that our pains are learned in childhood. Our fears, they start in childhood and they just become bigger as we grow. And so as we're learning, as we're developing, it's saying, okay, I see where this stems from. I see where this fear of abandonment stems from. I see where this fear of money stems from. Like, I can only save so much money, or I can only have so much money, and then all of a sudden it's all gone again. I understand why that happens. Because that's the world that I grew up in. That's the chaos that I constantly lived in. And now it's like, no, that chaos doesn't get to be my definition for the rest of my life. There's then also that beauty of childhood, that wonderment, that sense of the whole world is open to us. The power, the brilliance that moves us forward. And there's a real sense here of being able to embody that, being able to take that, being able to be a part of that glimpse into that wonderment again. Not saying to revert to Peter Pan and say, I never want to grow up because time is going to be chasing me forever. It's to say, there's more here than meets the eye. And I have learned and I have grown, and there's a connection, again, with the beautiful art of play. Play is what we do when we feel safe. When people are super stressed, they don't play. They don't laugh. They don't even have a sense of humor anymore. Because it takes you out of the fight or flight. You can't sit there and giggle because things are funny when you're in that fight or flight and you can't make a sound because, your primal self is coming up and you might be eaten by a lion. Your mind is thinking like that. So here it's that connection again. It's the fact that wishes, dreams, they're coming towards us. Yes, we have to be mindful of not being manipulated by them. That's fair. But there's a sense here of the beauty opening to us. And in not seeming like beauty as we are taking this gift, but it's seeming like power. It makes us more powerful. Now, whether it makes us more powerful by being the hammer that slams into us, or it makes us more powerful by being the thing that makes us stand up straighter, hold our heads up higher, it's something that we start to celebrate. We start to celebrate ourselves, our blessings, our dreams, our hopes, and we connect again with the beauty of play, with the beauty of laughter, with the beauty of wonderment that children have. And it leads us then to the 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles is prosperity and success and saying, you won't have this forever. We get moments of highs. We get moments of a job well done. Take them when we have them. Don't humbly say, oh, I don't deserve this. No, it's like, I deserve this. I worked hard for it. Right now I have the hood on the Hulk, so I don't see the whole big picture. I can just take in this right now. And I know there's going to be work to come. And I know it's going to be backbreaking. But right now, because, picking grapes is not a fun job. But right now, I get to cherish where I am and what I'm doing and how I'm moving forward and the beauty that is me. And it moves us to the Emperor. And the Emperor is fierce. The Emperor doesn't hold anything back. There's a warrior mentality to us during this time. I fight. I succeed. I go after. The King of Wands is looking at the Knight of Swords, so our mind is moving us towards something more. The fact that the Emperor is looking straight ahead, it's like, straight ahead onto our dreams, onto what we desire, straight ahead and focused. The Emperor claims his throne. He is the warrior. And the warrior does not sit there and think, he's the warrior general. He doesn't sit there and think, oh, I can't do this, oh, I shouldn't do that, oh, that's not nice. It's like, how do I win? How do I win? And how do I get as many people back as possible? And so that's our goal here. How do I win? And how do I touch as many souls, help as many people in even seemingly a benign way as possible? How do I open up that door? It leads us then to the 10 of Wands. It leads us to embracing strength. Because again, remember, general, Aries is the god of war. And the god of war did not sit there and think, oh, I can't do that because that's not nice. Oh, I shouldn't because, people might get hurt. There's a sense here of I'm focused, I'm determined, I'm moving after what I desire, I'm opening up my eyes, and I am not being weighed down, so I only look at the mud on my boots. There's a sense here of I carry too much. And what divinity is saying in the public arena, in order to celebrate our victories, in order to sit on our throne, know what we desire, know what we want, know what we're going after, we have to release some of the things that we're carrying. It can be that we have to stop trying to protect certain people from their own life lessons. It's like, okay, you have to learn this. You have to figure it out. And it's not being mean. It's not throwing them to the wolves. But it's kind of stepping back. And it's to be able to see the sky again for us. Instead of, again, the mud on our boots becomes our whole entire world. I want to see the sky. I want to laugh. I want to have fun. I don't want to be weighed down anymore by every single burden, by every single worry. And this is also, if you're like me and an A+ warrior, it's trying to stop worrying. It's saying, there's more here to me than just worry and thinking about the next catastrophe that can happen. It's looking at our dreams and saying, you know what, instead of carrying these sticks around forever, let us make a bonfire. Let us light our dreams. Let us, celebrate ourselves. Because we've come to an end of a cycle when it comes to career, when it comes to, the way that we're working towards our creative, passionate endeavors. We're coming to a realization. It might be a very small one. It might be a very large one, but it's powerful. And it moves us to the hangman. It moves us to not seeing things the same way. It moves us to being different than everybody else. And that's a good thing. And that can also make us feel like, I can't because I'm different. I can't because, people don't see me the same way. I can't. The fact of the matter is, with the hangman, we can. We move towards enlightenment, and not everybody is headed towards enlightenment. Some people on this earth, they're just here to enjoy, to get the enlightenment that they can, look at things, build a life, and then move on to whatever is next. But for some of us, we are drawn to more, to looking at the world differently, to seeing things that others do not see, to a deeper understanding. And initially, the first thought is, well, why isn't everybody else looking at this? Why isn't everybody else seeing this? I must be wrong. There's a power in standing out. Utilize it, Sagittarius. The Chariot is the power, the force of the dreams, of the desires, of the sense of I'm a victor, not a victim. I'm going after what I need. There's a sense of wishes guiding us. It's like, this is my wish, this is my desire, this is what I want, this is what I need. How do I get there? The subconscious and the conscious self lead us forward. So we have a bit of a mastery over the two parts of our mind, even if we don't know it yet. There's a sense of love, but there's also a sense of healing, of coming together, of bringing together what was once lost. And it brings us to prosperity, a prosperity that gives us bounty, that looks off into the future, that says there's more here than meets the eye, that sees the interconnectedness of things. The King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, these are kings that are involved with the day-to-day. They're not the abstract kings, the king of the heart, the king of the mind. They're the king of our career, the king of our money. And those are the things that are really important. Not that the others aren't, but on this earthly plane, to make sure that we are safe and secure and taken care of. These are things that we have to worry about, even if we don't want to. And so the King of Pentacles embraces prosperity and success and bounty, says to us, I'll look this way, you look that way. I'll have your back and you'll have mine. So let's go deeper. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles. Angels and spirit guides, show me more deeply. For Sagittarius, the Five of Pentacles. Define the Five of Pentacles for Sagittarius. Define the Five of Pentacles for Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. We'll actually put this one over here. So this one was twirling, the lovers. That's going to be our sense with the lovers. This twirling, this kind of like, it has a life of its own. It doesn't know if it wants to stand upright. It doesn't know if it wants to be upside down. And it's that connection that we have with people. It's like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Sometimes you annoy me, sometimes you don't. The Knight of Cups, defending our hearts. Again, the Four of Cups. So we're definitely going to have this to find a gift that's coming in that we're not seeing because we're focused on something else, somewhere else. The Ace of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty, gifts coming in from divinity. The Seven of Swords, I have to take what I know, what's mine, and I need to leave the rest. There's also a sense of sneakiness. I'm not going to know everything. And you know what? Sometimes that's a blessing. We have the lovers. We have love, we have joy, we have falling back in love with our lives again, seeing what we desire, the path that we want to move forward in, our hopes, our dreams, our wishes, but also knowing, very much the sense of the Taoist statement, this and that is true. Which means that we can have this opinion, we can have that opinion, we don't all have to agree, and that's still okay. Our world is missing that a bit, or a lot. And there's this real sense of moving forward in harmonious love for ourselves, for what we desire, for where we want to be, for falling in love with who we are, because this fell right on top of the king. I fall in love with my soul and myself. And there's something beautiful in that. It opens us up to love, and to the right kind of love, to the love that stands by us. It doesn't have to be the love that everybody else, thinks about, or the fairy tale love. It's the love that's right for us. And then it moves us to the Knight of Cups. And that love doesn't even have to be sexual or romantic at all. What it has to be is heart connecting. And it moves us then to the Knight of Cups. I defend what I love, but at times we're going to be going in one direction and we're going to be looking backwards. And it's like, okay, make sure I'm on the same page. Make sure I'm looking in the present and not only looking towards the past and saying, oh, I'm defending my love, but it's from my past instead of within my future or within my present. And then there's a gift that's coming that we're not expecting. So be aware of that. It's from the past. It has to do with prosperity, with a sense of accomplishments coming forward. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe is handing you a gift of bounty, of abundance, of seeds to be planted that can grow into mighty oaks. There's a sense of wealth coming forward. And it brings us to the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is taking our ideas, taking what we desire, and moving forward. We have to leave some things behind. We just do. They poison our mind if we carry them, and they're too heavy to carry. This is also a sense of, at times I have to take care of myself. This isn't being selfish or self-centered, Sagittarius. This is saying, I matter. And I can't always be taking care of everybody else. But we also have to make sure that we're being fair. Because if we are not being fair, 7 calls us out so hard, and it's over the Chariot, which is another 7. 7 is like, nope, it has to be fair, or else people are going to point fingers. So here, do your best. Do your best to be kind, but also remember yourself. So let's see. What gift? Define the 4 of Cups for Sagittarius. Define the 4 of Cups for Sagittarius. Define the 4 of Cups for Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Star. So it's the wishes that we're being warned of. And it can be that our hearts are very much connected to what our soul wants. And that makes perfect sense. And the gift that is being handed to us is a gift of what our soul needs. Not what we want, but what we need. And so again, a lot of those gifts of what we need in our lives are not necessarily the most fun, the like, oh my goodness, I love this. They're hard. They're overwhelming. And so the Star comes forward, and it's like, this gift is going to be what you need to propel you forward, to propel you towards your dreams, your hopes, your desires, your deep-seated longings. So let's go deeper. And let's see, please define the 3 of Swords for Sagittarius. Please define the 3 of Swords for Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's the call. It's the call to rise out of the darkness, which I was also thinking about the Star as I was shuffling. So there's a sense of being pulled out of the darkness of heartbreak, pain, and disappointment, and also pulled out of the darkness that is keeping us from what we most long for, where we most desire being. We hear the call. There's a call to something more. There's a call, you could say, to greatness. And there's this sense of, if we are brave enough to rise, we will embrace it full-heartedly, and we will be shocked at the way that we move forward. Now let's see what our spirit animal message is. Sagittarius. May 1st to the 15th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The armadillo spirit, set healthy boundaries. That's important. The armadillo spirit, the setting healthy boundaries is important. because we'll have a tendency to overextend ourselves, to be in fight or flight mode. Like, I have to fight for this. I have to go after this. But setting the healthy boundaries, saying, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is where I'll exert my energy. This is where I won't. This is the fight I'm willing to have with people. This is what the hill I'm not willing to die on. We choose our fights. And this is a sense of being wise. Now, our subconscious spirit animal message is the peacock spirit. Let it shine. Let your heart shine. Let it shine and let it guide you forward. Let it be a part of you. So often we think, oh, emotions, they get in the way. No, they shine. They move us forward. The subconscious person message that we have to be mindful of, the Princess of Cups. This is a person who you would define as a princess. They can throw a hissy fit. They can be emotionally very, very sweet, but also very immature. And there's a sense here of watching out. There's a sense here of, okay, that's nice, that's intense, but I don't need to be pulled down that whirlwind that you're going down. So there's a need here to be very mindful and not just be suckered because you think somebody needs you. And that's going to be what they do. They make it appear that they need you. Like, I can't do this without you. I need your guidance. I need your understanding. And Sagittarius, you will be right there. You will be right there and be like, okay, let me help you out. Let's fix this. Let's organize this. Let's get this going. They just want to be in chaos right now. Let them be in chaos. The subconscious chakra message is personal power, the solar plexus chakra. This is a sense of trusting your gut, going after your power, your intuition, your desire, your purpose, and letting it shine. This subconscious, deeper defining of which was it? That one was the Four of Cups. Okay. Well, the subconscious deeper definition is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups, don't trust everybody who raises their glass to you. Just don't. Don't. It's not always going to work out the way that we want it to. It can be overwhelming and taxing. There's also people in our lives that celebrate us, that love us, that care for us, that nurture us. Give the time to those people, not to the people who falsely raise their glasses and say, "Oh, I'm celebrating you," and they just aren't, and they don't ever care to. And these are also the people in our lives who have hurt us like that, who have been the ones in our lives that we think, wow, that person has my back. I'm connected with them, and they just let everything fall. They don't have our back, and we lean back and we just fall on the ground. So be mindful of this. Our subconscious, deeper definition of the Four of Cups is the Five of Cups. Change your mind and change your life. Change what you are focusing on. And it will change so much of what you're given. Because there's love and there's healing and there's beauty that is there. Our subconscious deeper definition of the Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords. We're pulling out these heartbreaks one by one, and they become the weapons that we use to rise high, to shock everyone. And our subconscious tarot message for this whole entire reading is again the Five of Swords. Did we have the Five of Swords before? No, we had the Five of Cups. Is the Five of Swords. We are facing what we do not want to face. It will be hard. It will be challenging, but it will be worth it because we win. And we get to hold the swords in our hands. Now, there's also a sense of dealing with somebody who is expecting us to fall, expecting us to fail. Don't give them the satisfaction. Because they're going to be using the old tricks, the old manipulations. You're wiser than that. You've seen it. So now it's like, no, that's not going to work. That game, it's over. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we win, as we move towards what we want, as we set these healthy boundaries, as we see the gifts that are coming to us, even if they don't seem like gifts, as we juggle, but also as we let ourselves not have to do everything all the time, and let ourselves embrace the joy of laughter, the joy of play, the joy of wonderment. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.